actually cast a Hawk before he was on Atlanta Academy.
Exactly, right?
And he was getting bomb after bomb back then.
Yeah, we grew to love him before he even came into Contenders. And Square One now, oh no. That face, Boop, I wish everybody could see it, because that's exactly how everybody should feel. When you get volleyed, when you're the sniper, that's always a good bad. It was just a peek. It was just a peek.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Crazier things have happened, right? I remember in South American Contenders one time, a team captured point A because they walled off an Orisa.
Because they ran attack May.
Yeah, so, yep. I believe there's a Dukes involved as well. And so Atlanta Academy.
Attack May right now.
Yeah, full health. Square One are going to use their attack May Tri-Spear. Remember, Tri-Spear is one of those flex supports, so he is going to have good aim playing that, Zenyatta, but here on the May, he's just going to find Spawn instead. Atlanta Academy on the defense side already given up, I think, 2 picks so far. I think there has been progress on that third one, so Square One aren't going to have to come back here and get the full point just for the tick.
Exactly. So that's not all lost here. Good eco push from Square One. Took down a couple members. Bird got a kill onto Kodak. Always it feels good when you see Torb picking up a couple frags. So the name of the game here is just to frustrate ATL. Try and zone them with this wall so you can set up shots for Dove, so you can set up hooks for Hot Date, because the potential is certainly here. This is actually essentially clockwork composition. You got a Torb, May, a Sniper, and your Roadhog. You're playing for those money halt hook combos.
Yeah, Square One going to casually toss out that turret. Dove's going to casually get a headshot onto Kodak, who had Transcendence, so they're not going to be able to have that. And this attack may work out right now. Getting the freeze on for Gator. Funny Astro getting the turret. That's going to help just a little bit, at least take a little bit of that geometry back here at Atlanta Academy. Here is Hawk in the back line. 2 kills for the Bird of Prey. Hawk, he was a part of the triumphant Bird. Old McDonald's farm, as I like to say.
Yes.
As the farm, though, is going to have to need to go to the Rainbow Bridge, but not for long. Is Hawk going to get 2 more kills? That's 4 total kills for a Hawk, but Square One coming back with even more as Dove and Tri-Spear are going to capture this first play.
Yeah, this is actually not a terrible play from Tri-Spear right here, because if you're a tank, you gotta stay on the point in order to contest. You can't do that in the face of the Blizzard, and that's all time that Dove can use to kick them off. Jolf in now with the Doom Fist. Now, this is what we call flexibility.
Jolf's gonna use that. Doom Fist gonna kill on it as well. Sometimes, the characters are your main tank player, but you gotta pocket Doom Fist. 76 for the support player back in the day. Harry Hook comes to mind. Gator going to get a charge kill, though, onto Hot Day, onto that Roadhog, as Jolf switches back to the Orisa. This fight has gone on since the very beginning. We're down to 1 minute and 14 seconds at times. Square One looks primed to capture the point, but the 3 kills come in for Atlanta, thanks to Hawk.
Yeah, exactly. In the end, there's no way to body some tanks off of the point. Sans incredible amounts of damage, and a single Widow and May is not going to be able to accomplish that. So we're going to have to swap from Widow to Pharah now, so we can get some burst onto these tanks.
Get Pokken and try to get back up to that self-destruct that has found so much value already here on King's Row. Square One need to make a decision. They have to go. Tri-Spear's going to have that Blizzard. Hot Date, though, going to get bursted down. Bird also dangerously low. Tri-Spear will follow. The Blizzard's not going to help things out for them. Gator, it's a nice consolation prize, but Dove in the air is not going to last for much longer as Atlanta Academy continue to hold.
It worked really well when it was working really well, but unfortunately, clockwork is not a composition that you can just throw on. All of your players not only have to be comfortable with those heroes if they're comfortable playing with each other, but more importantly, that teamwork is key. You gotta go for those halt hook kills.
They're going to go for a self-destruct kill. Hawk going to go through into the back line. They're going to use the statue to help them stay alive. And that's going to give a little bit more space to Atlanta Academy to get onto the objective. Open 4 is going to take a little bit more of that away, but the objective is still open for Atlanta Academy. 2 whole Supercharger now going to keep Square One above that power threshold, but Dove is going to get slept during the barrage and then taken down. Hot Day, the only one finding a kill for Square One so far. The Supercharger, I think, lasted throughout the entirety of its cooldown, but still only 1 kill for them. Hot Day going to follow up with the kill onto Gator. Atlanta Academy going to trade 1 right back, Ham.
So unlucky right there. Once Gator went down, that was a really good sign for Square One, but unfortunately, Jolf does not remain standing on his own 4 feet, and that will be a full hold for Atlanta Academy.
Oh, not quite. They did make a little bit of progress, so
that's
there
true.
is
they didn't cap, but
they did hold on
point A.
They did
get 94.4%.
That was close.
Yeah. As close as you could arguably be when you've got, Bird running Torv and Trispear running Mei and Jolf running Doomfist. And that wasn't it wasn't as if that was a throw pick. I'm going to give him the credit, right? Because if you see Square One starting to get that snowball potential going, right, you have such a big attacker's advantage. Sometimes you just need those couple of kills, right? If you can throw on the Doomfist, coat for just a second, get a couple of kills, swap back to a tank, then you may have just capped that point. Unfortunately, though, he got taken down by Funny Astro.
We've seen DPS players do it on occasion, right?
Yeah.
And it's an easier switch because of DPS, but when you're in that situation, when you're feeling it, right? Why not? He got a kill, so he contributed on that Doomfist, but he's going to do a little bit better contributing on some tanks. Jolf on this Orisa. Jolf definitely, I think, has a good Reinhardt, and this is a good opportunity to flex on some other main
very
tanks
good time to practice
in this situation. And we don't want to call this game practice, but what Square One is having to go through right now is not something that a lot of teams outside of some of the
Atlanta Academy.
Well, not just that, like outside of some of the other regions that struggle with ISP just in general, like South America is one that comes to mind where the internet's just not as good.
It's not reliable.
Yeah, exactly. And so they have a lot of pauses, they have a lot of subs come in, and it can be really hard. So Square One dealing with that right now. Atlanta Academy not dealing with any sort of issues so far, as when they do find themselves on the back foot, Hawk comes in and gets 2 kills.
Exactly. And now they might find more with Saucy and Sugar Free on the snipers. Very deadly. So Square One have to watch out for their heads if they want to keep them. Going again with this bunker, this clockwork composition, which is always a good thing to just get time on, right? And this is one of those situations where it can feasibly work out quite well. Immortality Field, though, already burned for Angelic, who is on the Baptiste this time around, so Wall comes out to buy a little bit more time and space.
I like that Wall because the Halt had just come out, so regardless of who the Halt was able to get into the orb, the Wall is going to stop them from getting that headshot. Anyway, she's going to find a headshot, but a body shot to take down the Hog. Hot Date going to have to try one more time if they get another opportunity. Hawk is low. Gator, though, going to get a kill onto his counterpart, Joel. On the other side, he was sitting at 28%.
Yep. And Hawk low himself to Dove, looking to see if he can help bring this back for his team, finding a couple of pot shots here or there, but can't stand up against the fist of Hawk.
This has been all Atlanta Academy so far. Good hook, though. The defense matrix is going to save them from the initial shot, but in the end, Sugar Free goes down anyway. Hot Date, nice consolation prize for them. Atlanta Academy are going to move up 3-0, already winning the series. We're already approaching Mat 4.
Yep. Blink and you'll miss it, folks. Square One making the best of a poorly dealt hand. Atlanta Academy giving them no quarter. And in a way, I feel like it's almost, we actually, discussed this before. Is it more respectful for a team to go easier if they know that their opponents are playing at a disadvantage?
We're talking about USA versus Thailand in the Women's World Cup, right?
Right. And I think it's, I think it's better to actually just play the game as if you would in any other situation, right? Give them everything that you've got because, you would want to be treated with that same respect.
I agree. And so now that we're entering map 4, we've seen the other teams turn it around on this map, and the losing teams turn around and be able to take Dorado, which has been squirrely for the teams going for the sweeps. But today has been a day of upsets outside of this one. Even I think phase 2 is a little bit of an upset over Bermuda going into it. Bermuda came in with a super hot hand, and I think with a lot of confidence. And now that we're here in game 4, the upset bug, I think, has been squashed. It's officially been squashed because we're at 3-0 already for Atlanta Academy, who've been looking super, super clean. But again, not a lot you can gain out of Atlanta or Square One out of this matchup because just the various things of the world didn't want certain things to happen.
Exactly. It's like a solar eclipse, right? It only lasts so long, and now and we got a bit of a spout of unluck for Square One. But curious to see how Dorado will go. We've seen a lot of Widow shenanigans so far today on Dorado. Used to be her stomping ground way back in the day when we saw, Surefour and Owl lighting people up. And she has fallen out of the meta, but, coming back, especially on Dorado, where those long sightlines so good for anybody who can wield that Widow scope, especially on point A and B.
And so Dorado is going to be the next test for Atlanta Academy and Square One, respectively. It's the last map of the day. We're going to close things out after this, and Atlanta Academy looking to close things out with a bang.
Exactly. Hey, maybe Hawk will get a 3K?
Maybe Hawk will get a 3K.
Know.
Maybe Hot Date will be the one with the 3K.
That's
because
true.
Hot Date's a pretty good diva himself. And
Smoking.
smoking hot. Yep.
That's why you
Smoking
get so many hot dates.
Yep. Exactly. Even if it's
Where's
speed
his name
dating,
come
he
from?
gets every single one of the answers.
Is speed date like the portmanteau of speedily and hot date's celebrity couple name?
Well, maybe we can make it that.
Ooh, look at that. Speed date.
We just got to get him on the same team.
Yeah, exactly.
The speed date combo. And so now that we're here on Dorado, what kind of things are we going to see? We've seen some goats. We've seen some Orisa here. What's common?
A lot of times you see that goats. We've even seen Igloo, right, with a Reinhardt with the May posted up, and around this very first corner, you got your wish answered, Boop. You've been clamoring for this ever since.
Well, not only did we get the Igloo, we also got a following 6K barrage.
6-man barrage, which was insane.
I feel like we're talking to like old people reminiscing about our younger days.
I know.
You know, it was just 6 hours ago. 4 hours ago.
Right, and ATL have no May, but they still want to hold up close. Trisphere finds them out immediately, so this is not going to be a surprise.
Oh, this has happened before. Bird has played Doomfist and won things for his team, which was Atlanta Academy. So Bird on the Doomfist is something that they can run. It's a good look for him. It was actually E-worthy for a couple weeks because it was also consistently good whenever he came out. Yay! And Bird gonna find an uppercut kill onto Sugar Free. Maybe this is what they needed to give themselves a little confidence, potentially win here on Dorado. But he's going to go down. Hawk is going to be the one that takes his name. Hawk is going to be the better Bird this time around. Funny Astro taking low as well. But as of right now, Square One ahead in terms of numbers. They got a nice environmental kill in the middle of that as well. Square One should be making their way on this payload.
Yeah, Atlanta Academy is simply just running out of bodies here and there. Hawk, though, does take his counterpart out of the air. There can be only one. Square One, though, coming back in here. Tri-Spear and Dove sticking with those DPS picks. And Jolf, we also don't see a ton of his Hammond, so he's definitely flexing in his main tank muscles right now.
I'm glad to see it because he needs to add, I think, that versatility. Like you said, his Reinhardt is good. Maybe the confidence might come if he finds himself being proficient in some of these other characters and stuff. Going to get a double kill onto Atlanta Academy. Proximity mines are also out, so it's going to be tough for Atlanta to come back onto the payload. Bird still rocking this Mr. Fisto, and Atlanta Academy are going to have to put up another defense here on Dorado.
Thank you, Mr. Fisto. I love this. Square One showing a bit of that flexibility right now. I think one of the funniest things ever is like Doomfist trying to like fist kill Sombras. So frustrating.
Dragon Strike to start things off. The Funny Astro is going to get first blood onto the opposing Pharah. Meteor Strike into the thick of it. Finds Funny Astro right in the middle. Gonna slam from space. Meteor Strike connects. Bird only one finding a kill though, as Atlanta Academy do stabilize.
Yeah, this is a good pick for Sugar Free. He can now flex his Tracer muscles. Definitely somebody to be feared on this hero, especially. Oh my God, Hawk! I mean, he has shown that versatility. He's shown some flexibility. Look at this, swapping things up. It's no longer easy.
And so Sugar Free, having used that rewind right away, he's going to have it back in at no time. The next engagement probably won't happen within the next 5 seconds anyway. So Square One needing to use this rocket barrage to push them to this first point. I believe it would be the only point they've gotten so far today. So I definitely want them to get on the board. They are running out of time, however, as there's only a minute and 13 seconds left. They have Tire, they've got rocket barrage, they've got some CC. Gator, I think, is stunned out of that Earth Shatter's. Hawk also very close to getting out of the mech, but Kodak coming in with 2 kills. Gator going to have one of their own. 63, that's not good numbers for Square One if they enter less than a minute remaining.
Yeah, no, indeed. And Jolf goes down late as well, so that big heavy horse not going to make her way onto the cart anytime soon. This will be Square One's last chance. And the scary thing is when you're up against Sugar Free, even though he just died, it means that your backline is going to be really vulnerable. Very similar to a Sombra, which you brought up earlier, that kind of, force you to play around the same zones. And so every time Square One takes a step forward, they got to worry about a Tracer simply blinking into their backline, but one clipping Bird, which is certainly a possibility.
Let's see if the possibility is going to be a reality for them. Now they are going to be used up tempo. Saucy going to be taking advantage of the extra overshields, and Hot Date going to be shooting rockets into the overshields. It's a ton of damage, especially if you get the right angle, but in that situation, probably not the right move. Saucy still going to get some kills, doing a nice little Jaru impression to himself, as Square One have now entered 5 seconds left. Not a ton of bodies. Bird is on Widowmaker all of a sudden. Dub is going to throw at that full stop, not find anyone. Angelic going down is pretty much the end for Square One. They are unable to capture the first point. I think they go pointless throughout the entire series. So far, Atlanta Academy are primed to get the sweep and continue that map win-loss streak.
Atlanta certainly padding their stats right now. And the other hard part is between Saucy and Sugar Free, you're really caught between, one annoying mosquito and another annoying mosquito. Something that we've seen a lot of teams take advantage of is Sombra's infinite stealth, right? So she can get onto a point, and while it seems like nobody's there and the Winston dives in deep, for example, and you're like, oh, look at this dumb Winston trying to 1v2 our backline. Surprise, there's also a Sombra there, and you can quickly
the lure and devour.
Exactly,
right?
The lure and devour, the divide and conquer. You can quickly overwhelm your opponents by that kind of surprise tactic. So any high mobility hero is able to do that, and Square One coming up against both a really capable Sombra and a really capable Tracer is just a really tough thing.
It would have been tough in general, right? But the situation, the hand that they've been dealt were, if you're playing poker, you just got a 7-2, which is the worst hand in a poker to start things out with. So Square One trying to find a 7 on the river somehow. Look at all that poker terms I apparently know.
Look at you.
Yeah, I
so
know.
Fancy.
Man, many different types of odd facts. Atlanta Academy now on the attacking side looking to make quick work as they have already against Square One.
And their win condition is right in front of their eyes. They can see that finish line. It always makes completing these maps much easier because there is no unknown. It always gives you a sense of anxiety. So the golden box, or rather the green box of victory this time around, beckons for Atlanta Academy. Dove, though, going to try and stop them in their tracks with his Widow. He's going to be joined by Tri-Spear on the Hanzo, and Bird flexing once again to the 76, following in, like you said, the footsteps.
He did that last season too.
Other great support DPS flexes, just like Harry Hook.
Atlanta Academy now going to have a Genji of their own. We've seen Genji find itself some popularity, particularly here on Dorado Ham. What makes this environment so good for Genji?
A lot of hallways, a lot of high ground corners that you can exploit. Oh man, Sugar Free, and that can also happen, right? You get the dash resets going, and it is just impossible to stop Genji if anybody is within his arm's reach.
It's been so long since we've seen this kind of DPS play. Every time we see it, it's like so refreshing. It's like eating spearmint gum. Right? It's right after you brush your teeth is the feeling, because Sugar Free just put on a nice Genji display, and it hasn't been just Genji. There's been 3 Genjis that have been able to do just this here on Dorado. There's been Widowmaker, Dalton's Tracer, I think is super, super good. And so let's see if they're going to be able to continue on with this diversity, especially on this map. We're definitely going to see it as you're seeing the sword get unsheathed, not really needing it because the teammates have got it anyway, as Atlanta Academy are going to run to the yellow box of victory in record time. I believe ending this series in about 45 minutes, which I believe might be a record. So let's, I'm sure we can confirm that. But Atlanta Academy take down Square One 4-0 to close out today.
Yep, and they continue to go undefeated in maps, which is their goal for the entire season, following the footsteps of such vaunted names as the Sydney Drop Bears. Square One not going to be feeling too bad. There was circumstances out of their control, really. So, hey, now this means Tri-Spear can go back to bed. It's in the middle of the night in EU. So.
And he's going to have internet. He'll know that for sure. And so we're not going to dive super deep into that game because I don't think there's a ton to bring out of it. Atlanta Academy playing like Atlanta Academy. Kodak continues to be a great addition to the team. Some people saying that this could be a nice Bishu situation for them. When Bishu went on Gladiators Legion, everyone leveled up. And I think Kodak could be doing the same thing to Atlanta Academy. And so we've ended the day so far. We've been casting 4 games. What has been the highlight for you?
Oh man, the 3 upsets. Every single time it felt like I couldn't get more excited for these underdog teams, but I mean, we made it through and I didn't explode, so it was possible.
So we're going to go ahead and look at the standings real quick as we see Atlanta Academy. That plus 12 is perfect, followed by Grunto Esports, who in my opinion had a coming out party today. Gladiators, Legion, and Sky Foxes round out the top 4.
Yep, and on the bottom of the standings will be Uprising Academy with their first win much earlier than in previous seasons. Definitely looking up for this team. Mirror pulling out some Reaper shenanigans. Phase 2 also with a win to their name. Really good stuff from them. The bottom 2 teams, though, Bermuda and Square One, currently winless. Square One sitting at a -10 after today's series.
So they're definitely going to be looking to try to reverse their fortunes next week. Hopefully all the internet works out. But if you're Bermuda or Square One, you gotta right the ship. You're already at 0-3. Every single loss from here on out could be the one that sends you to relegation. So the best way to do it is to win, forehead. And so now that we've seen these standings, we can finally close out the day. You said that your favorite thing were the upsets that we got to see. That was Grunto over Legion. That was Phase 2 over Bermuda. And then that was also Uprising taking down Sky Foxes. During all of that, two things in terms of individual players that I want to point out. Number one, we got to talk about Wub.
Gotta talk about
Wub. Number two, I think you got to talk about Cameron as well on the Orisa, playing some of the best Orisa we've seen. And I just learned that he got on the team yesterday. So they've had 24 hours with that team, pulling a little bit of a second wind.
That's like 20 more hours than Second Wind had, man.
Yeah, exactly. And Cameron, we were lauding on the praise like he had always been there, and he definitely deserved it. And then
supports. You got to remember the supports. You got Nishi coming in with amazing Ana plays. You got Rob coming in with amazing plays, whether on the Ana or the Zenyatta being that fragger, the opening fragger that his team really wanted. So many good people to, shout out today.
Today's been a day of ups and downs for sure, but today's also been a day of a great Overwatch. We're so happy that we got to bring that to you today. Thanks for listening to us for the last 6 to 7 hours. Our parents can barely do that, so really props to you. And we're going to go ahead and close it out by saying happy July 4th to all of our American compatriots. Happy Canada Day, which I believe was a couple days ago for our North American friends. And whatever you're doing over the weekend, have a great summer.
Happy July 3rd.
Yeah.